Hey YouTube, it's me, Briana. I'm the author of the young adult horror novel Blood and Water, the young adult urban fantasy novel Reflections, and the one-act play Touch, all of which are available for purchase on Amazon. I was so excited when Jenna Moreci tagged me to do this TSCx3 challenge originally created by Meghan Tennant because it means I get to show off some of my favorite recent reads. The TSC in the challenge name refers to the Savior's Champion, Jenna's book of the same name, which I have linked to before and will have no problem linking to again. So if you haven't checked that book out yet, make sure you click the link in the down bar below. The tag itself consists of 3 different sections, and each section corresponds to a different theme or a series of themes throughout the book. For this challenge, I also had to use either a book I'd read or a book on my TBR. Originally, I was only going to use physical books, but I don't actually have a lot of physical copies of books. I try to downsize as much as I can and keep my space clutter-free, so I'm going to throw some ebooks in here too. Now that you know the rules of the challenge, let's dive right in. Number 1. Tobias, a book with a painted cover. I was really excited about this one because it means I get to show my Haunted Mansion book. Now, most of you know I love spooky things. I especially love the Haunted Mansion, and I'm going to Disney in a little over a month, and I'm gonna freak out when I go on this ride again because it is my favorite. As I mentioned, obviously the cover is painted and it's gorgeous, and the whole book contains all this behind-the-scenes art and these beautiful illustrations of the ride and different iterations of the ride at different parks. And basically just look at that. It's a feast for the eyes and it's gorgeous. Number 2, a book with a strong female character. Bonus points for purple on the cover because purple is Layla's favorite color. Part of me wants to get some bonus points for wearing this dope purple labyrinth shirt, but I'm gonna play fair. With that said, I still get the bonus points because I chose Carrie by Stephen King, and as you can see, it has a purple cover. Carrie is one of the first books I read by Stephen King, and it's also the first Stephen King movie I ever saw. This book holds a special place in my heart because This book holds a special place in my heart because it almost didn't get published. Stephen King had so many doubts while he was writing this book that he considered throwing the whole thing away. It wasn't until his wife Tabitha read it and encouraged him that he decided it was indeed worth publishing. And what do you know, he went and sold the book and became a household name after that. Not right after that, but I digress. This particular edition of the book is near and dear to my heart because it was a bridesmaid gift from my friend who just got married last weekend, and inside she left me this beautiful note, which I am not going to read out loud because A, I'll cry, and B, because it's really personal. But basically, she's just encouraging me in my writing, and she says that she hopes we can continue to encourage each other, and it's probably one of the best presents I've ever received. Also, it's a great book, especially for Halloween, so if you haven't read that yet, definitely check it out. Number 3, Raphael, a book that taught me something. For this book, I chose So We Read On, which is all about the Great Gatsby. It has a really long subtitle, but I'm not going to read it. It should come as no surprise to you guys that I love the Great Gatsby, and I've been eyeing this book for a long time. In it, Maureen Corrigan talks about the power of the novel itself and why this piece of literature continues to endure even after all these years. Also, I think Maureen Corrigan may be the only other person on this earth who loves this book as much as I do. 4, Kaleo, book with a character you love to hate. So for this one, I'm going to go with The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. It's a horror novel that came out pretty recently. I'm a big fan of Paul Tremblay's work. I've mentioned his Head Full of Ghosts novel before. It's just incredible. I was waiting for a long time for Cabin at the End of the World to come out, and it did not disappoint. We're not going to go with a character I love to hate, we're just going to go with a character or a group of characters that I hated, and in this book, that is Leonard and the group of crazy cult members. Basically, what I hate so much about them is that Leonard, the leader of the group, approaches the little girl Wynn and manages to earn her trust. This is bad because Leonard and his friends go on to do some pretty shitty sadistic things throughout the course of the book. The worst part is that, like many different cult members, they believe they are doing all these things for the right reasons. And it's horrible. Basically, this book ripped me into a million pieces and did not put me back together. If you love crying your eyes out and being terrified by human nature, definitely check this book out too. Finally, number 5, Delphi, a book with a platonic male and female friendship. You guys, it is really difficult to find a book out there that has a good representation of male and female friendship. Almost all the books I could think of where men and women interact a lot, they end up becoming love interests. This is such a problem that I've decided in my next couple books I want to make it a point to have at least one couple that are just male and female friends because this is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to go with a book that I have also had my eye on for a long time and just got from the library only to devour in one day, the Book of Essie. And the relationship I'm choosing to highlight from the Book of Essie is Essie and Weir. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Book of Essie is about, it is a not-so-subtle dragging of the Duggar family, only fictionalized. And it's about this girl named Essie whose family is super conservative and they've basically grown up on this big mega hit television show, and then Essie gets pregnant and her family has to decide how they want to handle it in front of the media, and it's just a whole wild ride from start to finish. I loved this book and I loved the friendship between Weir and Essie, and I definitely recommend this book if you're looking for something a little different. That's all I have for this first part of the tag. I'm not going to go ahead and tag anyone in particular, so if you're watching this, consider that you're free for all to go ahead and do it if you want to. If you do the challenge, feel free to leave a link below to your video so that I can check it out too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Also, feel free to leave a comment below letting me know what you think of my choices. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!